Hey, my name is Will. I'm a filmmaker, illustrator, and the owner of a lifestyle slash clothing brand. I graduated with Shadow to Shine in 2019, which then led into a 2 week placement at Kloss Films, which then brings us to this point a year later, where I'm fortunate enough to still be working here at Kloss Films. And I've actually put together this animated interview for Shadow to Shine, getting to know Alec Maxwell of Kloss Films slightly better. So tell us who you are and what you do.
I am Alec Maxwell and I work under the name of Kloss Films. And Kloss Films is fashion video content for the most part, which I direct and edit. I also have a title at British Vogue, which is Digital Creative Director at Large. And then outside of British Vogue, I'm working with brands like Bulgari and Beats by Dre and Maybelline and Stella McCartney.
So we want to know your journey. How did you get into your current industry and role?
My journey was creativity from day one. I was always taking pictures and styling my sisters, and then art school, and then fashion degree. And then after my fashion degree, I kind of experimented with a few different things within fashion. I did some writing, I did some photography and design, but it was video that really was my passion. And through video, I was able to kind of bring together all of the different areas of fashion which I loved. Out came video or Kloss Films.
Cool. So what does your average day slash week look like?
Right now with lockdown, it's obviously very different, but typically an average day or week would depend on whether I'm shooting or editing. So if it's an edit day, then I'm at my computer with you, Will. Typically probably have like 10 edit projects on the go. Also at the same time dealing with the merch, we're always sending Kloss Pop Socket and caps and t-shirts out to our Kloss community. We'll probably be working on creatives or storyboards for upcoming shoots, and then kind of sending edits out to clients. So yeah, that's a typical day at the computer. Otherwise, we'll be on set shooting, and that can obviously vary depending on what the job is.
And did you need to study or get any qualifications for this?
So I didn't study film. I learned to edit and to use the camera after university, but I did study a fashion design degree. So there was some elements of my degree which were useful for me now. But I don't think you need to study to be in film. You can learn a camera and editing or light or whatever it is in the industry from working and from, assisting. So I don't think you need to. I had the fashion design degree, and then from there, I kind of learned the rest as I was going. I taught myself how to edit pretty much. A friend of mine showed me the basics, and then I just put in a lot of hours.
What would you say are the top 3 qualities that someone would need to work in your industry?
To work with me, what I like is a good energy, somebody that I'm not dreading them arriving in the morning, positive attitude, and you have to be dedicated. You have to kind of, reply when I need you to reply and say yes when I need you to say yes. So I think those are the best qualities to work with me. And I think they probably pretty much apply to the industry in general. And obviously a talent, but talent only gets you part of the way. You have to really graft for the rest of the time.
So what are the most challenging / rewarding parts of your job?
One of the most challenging things about the work I do is, I would say it requires a lot of emotion to edit a video. Often I'm dealing with kind of conversations with people where the subject matter can be pretty sensitive or commentary on society. So you have to have a very thick skin, because when you're putting out projects that have a lot of emotion in, you're very invested. So I would say one of the negative sides is just kind of the amount of emotion that you have to generate to put into your projects. Your emotions are out there basically for people to click on and watch. So that can be a little draining to deal with at times, I guess. The most rewarding part is probably the fact that when I was younger, this is pretty much the job that I really wanted. And I remember when I was in school, I explained to my friends what I want to do. And I didn't even really know it existed as a job, but I remember I explained it and my friends thought I was crazy. Where we grew up, we never really we weren't really aware of this kind of world. And now, sometimes I see myself that I'm here where I wanted to be. So that's kind of the most rewarding part, I think, is that my job is what I dreamed it would be when I was young.
So what has been your biggest career accomplishment to date?
I don't think it's happened yet.
Okay, and what was the biggest hurdle that you faced so far?
The biggest hurdle is probably yourself, your own mind, and holding yourself back, holding ideas back because you think it's probably impossible to make it happen, or you don't have the right resources, or, people, what will they think if I put that out there? So I think probably if you're a creative person, the only thing that can hold you back is yourself.
And what advice would you give to your younger self or a young person aiming to get into your industry?
Keep focusing on your creativity. Don't let anybody get to you, because soon you won't be around those people anymore. You'll be around the people that you choose to be around. And those parts of your personality which made you stand out almost for the wrong reasons when you were young are actually your talent and your strength. So just stay focused. And, if creativity is something that you always need to express, then just stick with it. Because if you just keep being creative and keep being focused and keep working hard, then it pays off later.
Cool. And is that the same advice you'd give for a young person aiming to get into the industry?
Now there's social media, which makes it a lot easier to communicate with people that, you would love to work with. So, that's something that didn't exist for me. A lot of people are probably found on social media. I know a lot of people that have worked with me, I probably initially communicated with them through social media or Instagram. So yeah, just, be positive and be reliable and communicate with people where you can on Instagram. And when you get the opportunity, just work hard. And I think it comes from there.
What's been the best piece of advice you've received during your career?
Advice? I don't think many people have given me advice. I kind of got to a stage now where I'm hoping somebody's going to give me advice any day now. But it's more like phrases or kind of mottos that have stuck in my mind. An example is start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. I found this really inspiring, especially a few years ago. I used to think of it all the time because to me, it's like you can think, I can't do this because I don't have the right computer or I don't have the right camera. And that saying, start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. For me, that just kind of gave me a kick up the bum and said, just do it with what you have, basically. And, from there, you're able to take another step and another step. So that was something that really stuck with me. I also like the saying, the best way to get ahead is to get started, because it makes, it really breaks it down. If there's something big that you want, you kind of have to start with a small step. And a third one that's always stuck with me, and I think back to it sometimes, is I didn't come this far to only come this far. So I think for me, it's not really advice. It's more just like these phrases that I keep in the back of my mind, and I say them to myself when I'm having kind of, like a low day, and they just always seem to put me back on track.
So how do you think an organization like Shadow to Shine could have helped you and your career, like starting out, I guess?
Becky and the team at Shadow to Shine, they have amazing contacts with lots of different industries, including the fashion industry. So I know with you and Becky, Becky's still there for you now, even though you've been with me maybe for almost a year. So I think it could really help anybody. But at the same time, it can only help you if you're helping yourself, which I feel you are. So yeah, you know, people can help you. Shadow to Shine can help you, but at the end of the day, it's whether you're going to help yourself, which is really going to get you to where you want to be.
So how do you define success?
So success for me is when you're putting out work that you're happy with. And the other side of it, which is something that I've been thinking about more recently, is also that you're making a comfortable living from your creativity. So for me, that's success. You love the work that you're putting out and you're fortunate enough to be making a living from it.
And final question, what do you want your legacy to be?
I would want my legacy to be that I was creative, I was open-minded, and I put out some beautiful work.
Thank you so much for your time. It's Will signing out on behalf of Shadow to Shine.